Do you truly know the people in your life? Do you trust your intuition to tell you who is safe and who is, in some hidden way, dangerous? When we think of danger, we often picture an obvious threat, an overt act of aggression, a loud argument, a clear betrayal. But what if I told you that the most destructive people in our lives rarely look like villains? What if they look like our caring friends, our devoted partners, our loving family members? The great Swiss psychologist and philosopher Carl Jung spent his life exploring the vast, hidden landscape of the human mind, and he issued a profound warning. The greatest danger to our well-being often comes not from another person's conscious cruelty, but from their unconscious darkness. It comes from the parts of themselves they refuse to see, the inner demons they have never faced. This is because when a person refuses to confront their own inner shadow, that darkness doesn't just disappear. It gets projected. It gets cast out and latched onto the nearest person. And that person is often you. Today, we are going on a journey into the human psyche. We will use the map left to us by Carl Jung to identify 7 types of psychologically dangerous people. These are not evil people. They are people who are profoundly disconnected from themselves, and their unexamined darkness can unintentionally become a cage for your own spirit. This is your guide to recognizing these patterns, so you can protect your peace and reclaim your own authentic self. 7. Psychologically dangerous people. Let's explore these 7 patterns, not with judgment, but with the clear, calm light of awareness. Number 1. The unconscious projector. This is the person who lives in a state of constant emotional outsourcing. They are unable to own their own feelings, so they unconsciously project them onto you. Their anger is never their anger. It's because you provoked them. Their insecurity is never their insecurity. It's because you are acting superior. Carl Jung described projection as a psychological process where the subject is not recognized as belonging to the subject. It's a mental magic trick. They take an uncomfortable feeling from inside themselves and make it look like it's coming from you. Imagine you come home from a long, stressful day at work, feeling tired and quiet. Your partner, who has a deep-seated fear of abandonment, sees your silence and immediately says, "What's wrong? Are you mad at me? I feel like you're pulling away." Suddenly, you are no longer allowed to be tired. You are now a defendant in a courtroom, forced to prove your love. You spend the next hour comforting their anxiety, while your own need for peace is completely erased. You have just become the screen for their inner movie. Number 2, the one who is only a mask, the persona. The second type is deceptively perfect. They are always polite, always agreeable, a pillar of their community. Their public self, what Jung called the persona, is flawless. The persona is the social mask we all wear to navigate the world, and it is a necessary tool. The danger arises when a person completely merges with their mask. They forget that there is a real, authentic self underneath. Let's say a man is the perfect husband in public. He's charming, attentive, and all his friends' partners wish their husbands were more like him. But in private, he is emotionally distant, incapable of deep conversation. When his partner tries to talk about a real feeling or a struggle, he shuts down or says, "Let's not be dramatic." Living with this person is profoundly lonely. There is no real person to connect with, only a flawless, impenetrable performance. As Jung wrote, the persona is what we seem to be. But if that's all there is, any attempt at authentic connection will bounce off the mask. Worse, they will expect you to wear a mask too, to play your part in their perfect-looking play, which forces you to suffocate your own authentic self. Number 3, the one who denies their shadow. The third type is the person who rigorously denies any negative aspect of themselves. They are obsessively positive, moral, and self-controlled. But as Jung taught, the shadow is the part of our psyche that contains everything we repress and deny. Our anger, our envy, our selfish impulses. Jung said, everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. A person who denies their shadow doesn't get rid of it. They just make it more powerful and more likely to erupt in uncontrolled ways. Imagine a manager at work is a perfectionist who never admits to a mistake and presents a front of absolute moral uprightness. They're incredibly harsh and judgmental toward any employee who shows a sign of weakness or makes a small error. Their over-the-top reaction to others' flaws is a direct result of the complete denial of their own. They cannot tolerate in others what they refuse to see in themselves. Being around them is like walking on eggshells, because you never know when your small, human imperfection will trigger their denied volcanic shadow. Number 4, the moral controller. This person uses morality not as a guide for their own life, but as a weapon to control yours. They are the constant critic, the one who is always disappointed in you, the one who cloaks their control in the language of, "I'm just trying to help you be a better person." They have taken their own shadow and projected it onto the world, and now they see it their mission to fix the perceived flaws in everyone else. Jung saw this as one of the most insidious forms of psychological manipulation. He warned that whenever a person's morality becomes a performance for the outside world, it is being used to mask an inner darkness. Let's take a look at a modern example. A friend constantly gives you unsolicited, critical advice about your life choices, your career, your partner, your spending habits, all under the guise of, "I'm just being honest because I care about you." Their criticism makes you feel a constant, low-level sense of shame and guilt. You start to second-guess yourself, your confidence erodes, and you find yourself subtly changing your behavior to win their approval. Their morality has become your prison. As the philosopher Sartre might say, you have allowed their gaze to define your existence. Number 5, the one ruled by a complex. A complex, in Jungian terms, is a splinter in the psyche, a core pattern of emotions, memories, and perceptions organized around a common theme, usually a past wound. A person ruled by a complex is not responding to the present moment. They are reacting to an echo from their past. Imagine a man has a deep abandonment complex from his childhood. He is now in a loving, stable relationship. One evening, his partner is late coming home from work because of a traffic jam. His complex is triggered. He doesn't see a partner stuck in traffic. He experiences the raw, terrifying feeling of being abandoned all over again. He erupts in an accusation and rage that is completely out of proportion to the situation. Living with this person is like living in an emotional minefield. You are constantly being punished for a crime you didn't commit, a crime that happened in their past long before they met you. Number 6, the psychological vampire. This is the person who, consciously or unconsciously, feeds on your emotional energy to fill their own inner emptiness. Their life is a constant, low-grade crisis that only you can solve. Their emotions are a constant storm that only you can calm. This creates what Jung called a pathological symbiosis. It's not a real relationship between two whole individuals. It's a parasitic connection where one person's life force is used to sustain the other. Imagine you have a friend who calls you every day to complain for an hour about the same problems they never take any action to solve. After the call, you feel exhausted, drained, and heavy. They, on the other hand, feel better. They have successfully transferred their negative energy to you. Over time, you find yourself feeling guilty for wanting your own space, or for not answering their calls. You are not their friend. You have become their emotional support system, a role that will eventually leave you completely depleted. Number 7, the eternal youth, the pur aeternus. This final type is one of the most charming and one of the most subtly destructive. This is the Peter Pan figure, what Jung called the pur aeternus, the eternal youth. They are brilliant, charismatic, and full of limitless potential. But they refuse to grow up. They live in a fantasy world of future possibilities, but avoid the responsibility of the present moment. They will talk about the amazing business they're about to start, the incredible novel they're going to write, but they never commit. Imagine a man in his late 30s is still living like a college student. He's exciting to be around, but he cannot hold a steady job, manage his finances, or commit to a real relationship. The moment things become difficult or demand real responsibility, he vanishes, off to chase a newer, more exciting dream. The danger is that he drains the life force of those who love him. His partner becomes a parent, paying the bills and managing the details of a life he refuses to participate in. He doesn't mean to cause harm, but his refusal to embrace adulthood leaves a trail of broken promises and exhausted caretakers. The path of individuation, becoming whole. Carl Jung's work is a profound mirror. As we look at these 7 patterns, we may see reflections of people in our own lives. But if we are truly brave, we may also see faint reflections of ourselves. The goal is not to judge others or ourselves. The goal is what Jung called individuation. It is the lifelong, courageous process of turning inward, of making our unconscious conscious, of facing our own shadow, and of integrating all the disparate parts of ourselves into a stronger, more authentic whole. The first step on this path is awareness. It is the ability to recognize these patterns. The second step is boundary setting. It is the courageous act of saying, "Your shadow is not mine to carry. Your drama is not my drama to solve." This is not an act of aggression. It is an act of profound self-respect. It is the understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and that the greatest gift you can give to the world is your own whole, healthy, and undivided self.